Hi everyone, it's Rhonda and welcome to a new video. Today I am going to be doing my October TBR and I cannot wait because I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I love watching TBR prompt videos and I decided instead of doing my usual monthly TBR where I go ahead and just pick out the books and go over all the books that I picked out for myself personally, I would get together some prompts and pick a book based off those prompts. I personally love watching these videos and I thought it would be fun to switch things up and do something like that this time. So in this little cauldron, I have my little TBR prompts. So I'm going to mix these up. And these, okay, so let's talk about my monthly TBRs. Last month I did a great job of reading. I think I picked out 12 books and I read 10 of those books. This month, I don't even think I've read half of the books that I picked out for September. So I've been picking out between 12 to 15 books. I think this month I'm just gonna pick out 6. That way I can mood read. I've been in such a book slump these past couple of months and I think it's because I'm overwhelmed with the number of books that's on my TBR carts and the number of books I have set aside to read that month. And I feel like if I have a smaller number of books to kind of focus on and then I can mood read the rest of the month, I think I might be able to complete that better. So I think this month I'm just gonna pick 6, maybe 7 books and then hopefully I can read all those books and mood read the rest of the month. So let's go ahead and pick my first prompt. I'm so excited. Please be good, please be good, please be good. Okay, what does this say? A book that's under 300 pages. Okay, let's see, Ooh, okay. So I have these little cozy mysteries I got from Half Price Books for like $4. And I think, is this one? I think this one is under, yeah, okay, so this one is 273. And this one is 277. So I have these two I can pick from. I have, ooh, okay, I have The Day Shelley Woodhouse Woke Up by Laura Pearson. This one is, oh, this one's 301. The Wishing Game is 301 pages. What else do I have? My TBR. This isn't even all of my books on my physical TBR. This is just one of my carts with the books that I kind of want to focus on this month. But what else? Dawn of Onyx? I think this one's going to be over. Yeah. Okay, so Murder and Masquerade. So let's pick one of these. I don't think I'm gonna do Peril and Paperback just because this one has a pumpkin on it and I think that would be good for October. This one, it says librarian Kathleen Paulson is always willing to help a friend, but to save one from a wrongful arrest, she will need magical backup from her affectionate cats. And then The Day Shelley Woodhouse Woke Up says, when Shelley Woodhouse wakes up in a hospital from a coma, the first thing she says is that her husband must be arrested. He's the reason she's in here. She knows it. She remembers what he did clearly as anything. But there are things Shelley has forgotten too, including parts of her childhood. And as those start to come back to her, so do other memories. One with the power to change everything. But can she trust those new memories or what anyone around her is telling her? And who is the mysterious hospital volunteer who brings her food and keeps making her smile? Is it possible to find your future when you're confused about your past? So what should I read? I think I'm gonna go with Whiskers and Lies by Sophie Kelly just because of the kittens and the pumpkin and the fall leaves. I think this is going to be perfect for October. And I haven't read cozy mysteries like these and I think this is gonna be just a great time of year to try and get into these and see if this is a genre that I could read and enjoy. So the first book is Whiskers and Lies by Sophie Kelly. Next, book number 2. Oops, got 2. Says, set in the 19th century. Okay, so a book that's set in the 1800s. It could be What about Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater? I think this is set in Regency, England. Yeah, Regency. Okay, cool. So this is an option. Oh, next, Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Mascalco. This is about Jack the Ripper, which was, the killings that he did was set in the 1800s. So that is an option. Okay, how about these two? And the next one, this one's set in the 1800s, and I think this one says Victorian. Is that the same thing? I don't know if this one is or not. Okay, so I picked out 3 books to pick from. The first one is The Third Wife of Faraday House by B.R. Myers. This one is about a woman who becomes betrothed to a man who, I think he's a widower, and 2 of his previous wives have died, and he lives in Faraday House. So the woman moves to Faraday House, but she discovers that his second wife is still alive, but barely. So I think it's going to be kind of a gothic mystery thriller. So this is an option. And then I have Half a Soul. This is a YA fantasy. It says it's difficult to find a husband in Regency, England when you're a young lady with only half a soul. Ooh, that sounds good. I know this is YA and it's a fantasy. And then I have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I think I have another one of her books on my cart. I could be wrong. But this is about a girl who, I guess, I don't know if she tries to solve the Jack the Ripper's cases, but this is another YA thriller mystery. I'm not sure. I don't know which one to pick. I think I'm gonna go with Half a Soul just because I am fascinated by Regency. I love historical romances with a passion. I haven't read any in quite some time, but I think this might kind of give me that little historical romance fix with a smidge of fantasy. But we're gonna do Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, and that's gonna be the second book that I pick. Oh, and look, so far they're both green. So book number 3 is Read a Time Loop Time Travel Book. Ooh, that's my favorite genre, in case you don't know. Do I have any? Wayward, maybe? I don't think this is about time travel though. I think this one is just women from different periods of time are interconnected. So I don't think that will work. Oh, I know. I have one. Okay, so this one I know has a little bit of a time travel aspect to it. It's Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. And this one, it says, can you stop a murder after it's already happened? Late October. Oh, perfect. After midnight, you're waiting up for your 18-year-old son. He's past curfew. As you watch from the window, he emerges and you realize he isn't alone. He's walking toward a man and he's armed. You can't believe when you see him do it. Your funny, happy teenage son, he kills a stranger right there on the street outside your house. You don't know who, you don't know why. You only know your son is now in custody. His features shattered. Then that night you fall asleep in despair, all is lost until you wake and it's yesterday. And when you wake again, and it is the day before yesterday. Every morning you wake up is a day earlier, another day before the murder. With another chance to stop it, somewhere in the past lies an answer. The trigger for the crime, and you don't have a choice but to find it. So this one definitely features some kind of little time travel, time loop aspect to it. So we're gonna read this one as book number 3 as my time travel book. Book number 4, possible 5-star read. Oh gosh. In my mind, all of these are gonna be 5 stars, but right off the bat, I don't want to read this one, but I have a feeling The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna is going to be a 5-star read. But this book is so chunky. It's 564 pages. I don't know if I want to read that. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be a 5-star read. I don't know. Oh gosh. Should we do this? This is also one of the 2 books that has been on my TBR cart the longest. I think this is a first edition. I think I got this in 2016. I want to say this is a first edition. Yeah. So this came out in 2015, first edition. I don't know if I got it in 2015. I think I got it in 2016. So I've had this book for a very long time, and I probably need to read it. I have not read it because it's so big and thick, and I know it's gonna make me cry. So this one is about two sisters who are involved in World War II in some way. They're involved in the war effort, and I know that this is so sad. This came out in 2015, and I know there's been this huge resurgence in this book. A lot of people are reading it now. So maybe I should go ahead and try and tackle this book this month. Should I do it? Because I don't know any others. I want to say all of these are going to be 5 stars, but there's nothing that's just popping out at me like, read me, you're going to be a 5-star book. So let's go with this one. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to read The Nightingale. So let me know if you've read this one. I'm hoping it's a fast read, but this is book number 4. I'm going to do it. So there, it's picked, it's done. Book number 4, my 5-star prediction book. All right, next up, let's pick book number 5. Book by a favorite author. So I read an Adrienne Young book this past month, and I loved it. So I have spells for forgetting. That's an option. Let's see, we have Grady Hendrix books. That is an option. I do like him. Oh, I know. We're gonna do The Haunting of Maddie Clare by Simone St. James. I've read almost all of Simone St. James's books, and this is one of the books that I have not read yet. And I love her thrillers just because there's some kind of supernatural element to them. I don't know what this one is about. It looks like it is set in 1920s England. It says, a woman of limited means and even less experience must confront a vengeful spirit in this haunting novel from the New York Times bestselling author of The Sundown Motel, which is my favorite Simone St. James book, and the Book of Cold Cases. So let's pick this one. I mean, it kind of goes with spooky season. We've got a haunted house. It's kind of a historical haunted house, so we're gonna do that. I love Simone St. James. This is perfect. Okay, we got one more. Book number 6. This is kind of fun. I might do this every month for my TBR picks. Green cover. Oh my gosh, I have 2 already. That's interesting. We have The Inheritance. That's green. By Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Nothing down there. We have Wayward. Olivia Blake, Masters of the Death. I don't know if I want to read that. Strange Sally Diamond is green. I don't know if I want to read that. Oh, here's 2. We have Fear the Flames and, okay, I have 3 books. We have Wayward, which would be perfect for October. The Day Shelley Woodhouse Woke Up, and Fear the Flames. Man, I've heard this is really good. Should I do? What would you do? I kind of feel like I need to read Wayward. Should we read this one? Okay, let's put The Day Shelley Woodhouse Woke Up away. We'll read that another time. It's between Fear the Flame and Wayward. I feel like I need to read Wayward because I think this is about witches. I said, oh, it's a debut novel too. 2019, Under the Cover of Darkness, Kate flees London for a wayward cottage inherited from a great aunt she barely remembers. With its tumbling ivy and overgrown garden, the cottage is worlds away from an abusive partner who tormented Kate. But she begins to suspect that her great aunt had a secret, one that lurks in the bones of the cottage, hidden ever since the witch hunts of the 17th century. And I think this one follows 3 different women, and they are all interconnected in some way. So, you know what, let's do Wayward just because this is October and I want to focus on some more spookier type books. Okay, so these are the 6 books I have. You know what, let's do one more. Let's do a bonus book just because I feel like it's such a little even though The Nightingale is a massively thick book, I feel like I'm gonna read those pretty quickly. So let's do one more. So the bonus book prompt is, setting is opposite of the current season. Okay, so we're in fall. I don't want to do this one. What? So I guess the opposite would be winter or summer maybe. Oh my gosh. I have Wild Eyes. Is this, okay, I have Soulmate Equation, Wild Love. I think these are probably summer settings. I'm trying to look for something kind of lighter and fluffier. So they're preparing for a wedding. Weddings are usually in the summertime. Okay, let me do some research because I don't know when some of these start, so hold the phone for a minute. Okay, I figured it out. It's between Wild Love by Elsie Silver and You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Holden. I've heard this is really good. I've read all of the Chestnut Springs books and I did enjoy them. Centered around a wedding. And I saw online that it is a summer romance, and I know this is a summer romance too. You know what, I think let's go with Wild Love. I've been wanting to read this one. I also have Wild Eyes on my TBR cart that I want to get to. As I mentioned, I've read the Chestnut Springs books and I did love those books very much. I did not love the spice level. I do not love super spicy books, and Elsie Silver writes really spicy books. But I do love her writing, and I do love the romance and the love story and the plot. So I've been wanting to read this. I heard it's really good. I've heard Wild Eyes is even better. So looking at my little TBR, my books on my TBR for this month, I have some interesting darker reads. So I feel like this is going to be a good one to kind of give that little stack of books some little book fluff, or book candy, if you know what I mean. So let's go over the books that I picked. So the first prompt was under 300 pages, and I went with Whiskers and Lies by Sophie Kelly. This is a little cozy mystery. Then the next one was set in the 19th century. I'm going with Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. That one is kind of like a YA romantasy. I think I got these out of order, but I think the next one was a time loop or time travel book, and I picked Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. The next prompt was possible 5-star read, and I went with The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I'm scared of this book, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna read it, and I'm gonna love it. I don't read a lot of historical fiction either. I feel like if it doesn't have a brooding duke, or if there's not a romance, I don't read it when it comes to historicals, but I think I'm gonna love it. The next book is to pick a book with a green cover, and I picked Wayward by Amelia Hart. The next prompt was to read a book by a favorite author, and I picked The Haunting of Maddie Clare by Simone St. James. And then the last book, the bonus book, is a setting that is opposite to the current season, and I did have trouble with this book because we're in fall, and it's either gonna be winter or summer, and I went with the summer book just because I want something kind of light and fluffy. And I went with Wild Love by Elsie Silver. So here are the 7 books that I picked for the month of October. If you've read any of these, please let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. If you are still with me, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're just kind of a lurker, you don't like to comment, go ahead and leave me a little book emoji or a ghost emoji in the comments so that I know that you were here and you were watching. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.